Hello friends, it's Tim here from Mayhem, and boy howdy do we have, well, it's only a little bit of game hacking action for you today. So I don't know about you, but when I played Earthworm Jim as a kid on the Sega, I thought it was a pretty tough game. Hard, no good, too weird. But you know what, I warmed up to that little wormy bugger with his cozy astronaut costume and luscious whip. Plus the graphics are pretty rad and have that classic in-your-face 90s vibe, so how can you not enjoy it to some degree at least? This Sega Genesis / Megadrive classic sold over a whopping 1.2 million units worldwide. That's a lot of earthworms in today's dollars. So with that many sales, I thought it would be fun to revisit this somewhat Sega mascot and see what kind of damage we could do using the game Genie, or maybe even some of the default controller input cheats. So hold on to your butts as we go on with the show. Starting off, I thought we would check out the code GC3C-JA9W, which is a classic Game Genie code that gives you infinite health. There is a warning that comes with this that it may cause some graphic errors, but the payoff is worth it, and I personally couldn't see anything major different. In this clip I also used the code AK5C-JADY, which allows you to start off a new game at the Snowman boss, which is pretty cool. Although it was easier to kill the bloody snowman than it was to get this diamond to transport me to the next area. I don't know who came up with that idea. There are a few different codes that allow you to start off your game in various places. So if you have already played a fair bit of the first few levels, or if you get stuck, it is always nice to know you can skip a level or proceed a little bit further with the Game Genie having your back. For the more ammo-conscious person, you can try the code GC3C-JA4C. When you have this in play, you will have unlimited ammunition, which is naturally super handy as you can just blast away until your heart is content. But I didn't want to leave it just at that. I also added the code GWJC-JA2W, which is a little bit more special. When you have this Game Genie code added, you can just hit enemies anywhere on the screen by using your head. Your whip. It pretty much ensures you will always be able to either shoot or whip your way out of just about any situation you find yourself in. This did seem to confuse the game a bit though, as sometimes my whip would make me fly off to other latch-on points unexpectedly, causing me some disorientation, and then other times I couldn't whip anything at all. Oh well, you've got to take the good with the bad, I guess. If you have already had enough of Earthworm Jim and just want to see the end of the game, then you can just pause the game and press the button combination A+C, A+B, C, C, B, B, A. If you have done this correctly, then the game will say you are the best, and then the end screen will run and the credits will roll. This is quite a fun end of the game actually, and really shows the personality and fun the game developers had whilst making it. For most of us growing up, I don't think we actually ever got to see the end of the game, so to have this hidden behind a few button presses is pretty sweet, I think. You can also pause the game at any time and press the button combination A, B, 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 C, A, C, C. If you have done this correctly, you'll hear the word cheater, and then your ammunition will refill back to 1000. It's pretty neat if you ever get stuck. Whilst we are on the button codes, there is another sweet one you can enter on the pause screen that unlocks a whole range of chaos. Press pause and then enter left plus A, BBA, right plus A, BBA. If you do this right, you will now have unlocked a sweet hidden menu that lets you choose which level you want to play, even if you want to be invincible, or even a map mode, which lets you just view the entire level and spawn wherever you want. This is pretty awesome, except I think I ended up in an area I wasn't supposed to get to, as I kept just going up this escalator and ended up stuck in a loop just dying. But it's a great way to see the overview of all the maps without having too much trouble. And it's just as well that this button combo works, as there is a 2-line Game Genie code, AC6C-JA7L plus H46C-K8FN, which was meant to enable this by pressing start and then any button, but instead the game just kinda kept flashing the debug start screen and calling me a cheater. Ugh, my poor ego. Anyway, on to the next one. Do not adjust your monitor. What you are experiencing is the Game Genie code R1EW-J606, and I promise you that this clip is not sped up footage. If you want to ramp up the chaotic game into hyperspeed, then this is the code for you. It feels super weird to play, as you are bombarded by crows, dogs, and you kind of bounce all around in the space of about 2 seconds. I could hardly work out where I was going or what I was doing, but I think I did it? Oh man, my brain hurts. And finally, what game-altering video wouldn't be complete without the code ABXW-JAAG? With this bad boy in place, you can just jump for as long as you hold down the jump button. It's not exactly moonwalking or jumping in mid-air, as it is more of a hold the frick on when you press the jump button, because you just launch off like a Tesla spaceflight. On the surface this sounds like it could be fun, but it turns out the boundaries of the game at the top of the screen actually mean you die if you leave them. This leaves you kind of half tapping and hoping that you don't unalive yourself by accident through the roof of the level. It's a super chaotic code for a super chaotic game. In closing, the game is pretty similar to how I remember it, but for some reason this play around left me feeling really strange. I think it's something to do with the weird haunting music, the obscure scenery, and just the fact that a worm is in a spacesuit. It just doesn't sit right for me. Sure, it definitely has its place in the Sega library, but I think it will be at least a while before I dust this one off again. It's not for your ordinary platformer gamer somehow. I think you need to be some kind of super worm hybrid to get through this haunting beast. Anyway, that's it for today my friends. I do hope you enjoyed this brief look into some of the cheat codes for Earthworm Jim on the Sega Genesis. If you did, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment down below, and be sure to share this video with some of your other gaming friends. And with all that said, I'll catch you soon.
Thank you.